Good day, my dear grade 6 learners. I hope you are all doing fine. Welcome to today's English class. Our topic for today is compound nouns. Now, in our previous lesson, we discussed what nouns are. Do you still remember the definition of nouns? Yes, nouns are names of places, things, and people. Today, we'll talk about a specific type of noun. These nouns are called compound nouns. Now, what is a compound noun? A compound noun is a noun formed by adding two words together to make a single noun. I know that you might confuse this with compound words because we did discuss about it 2 to 3 weeks back. Compound nouns are different from compound words. Compound nouns are formed by joining two words together, 2 or 3 words, to make a noun. But words such as afterbirth, like the example I've given here, they are not nouns. Why does Miss Luango say so? Because they are not names of people, they are not names of places, and they are certainly not a name of a thing. Afterbirth is an action, therefore it is a verb, and it falls under compound words. Here we have an example on how to form a compound noun. We have 3 pictures. We have the sea, we have the food, and then we have the final product, which is seafood. The sea, we know what it is. Then we also know what food is. When we add the two words together, they form the noun seafood. Food is a thing, and therefore it is a compound noun because seafood is joined by 2 words. Now here we have 3 types of compound nouns. Now, compound nouns vary from the different ways that they are joined together. One type has spaces in between, like ice cream, swimming pool, bus stop, living room, and so on. The other one doesn't have any spaces in between, like classmate, greenhouse, grasshopper, lifespan. And then there is another one that has a hyphen, which are mother-in-law, dry cleaning, self-confidence, and merry-go-round. These are all types of compound nouns. It's up to certain laws in English, which you learn as you proceed to other grades, that we form this type of compound nouns and how they differentiate. These rules you will learn with time as you go to grade 7, grade 8, and so on. Now, there are certain rules that you need to know even in grade 6 when forming compound nouns, or how to identify a compound noun. The first one is that they are formed by joining words, separate words. The second one is both words that we are going to use should make sense on their own. For example, bus, it makes sense. We know it's a mode of transport. And school is a place where you get your education. So both words, they are words on their own. They exist in the English vocabulary. But when we join them together, it forms the word school bus. The third one we must know is that we must know which one we put first, because the one that comes first should be what describes the noun. We cannot say bus school because it wouldn't make sense. But when we say school bus, we already know what bus is, but then when we put school, then we think, okay, this is a bus that is used by the school to transport learners and teachers. So this school being in front of the bus describes the noun as a whole. Now let's form some compound nouns. Here we have 5 words. store, bed, room, class, and bath. How many compound nouns do you think we can form using these 5 words? Miss Luango sees 4. Do you see 4 as well? Let's see if you are correct. We have storeroom, number 1. We have bedroom, number 2. We have classroom, number 3. And we have bathroom. So we formed 4 compound nouns. But these words, they stand on their own. We know what a store is. We know what a bed is. We know what a room is. We know what a class is. We know what bath is. But they come in front of the room because they are describing what type of room it is. We cannot say storeroom because that is wrong. Or we cannot say room store, because that is wrong. But when we say storeroom, we are indicating what type of room it is. Now let's see if you can do this classwork, just to test if you understood what Miss Luango is saying. Here the classwork is a bit different. The compound words are already formed. Now for Miss Luango to be able to tell whether you understood or not, this classwork you have to separate the words. So basketball. What 2 words form basketball? And you'll do the same for doghouse, raindrop, cupcake, paintbrush, popcorn, notebook, and sunlight. If you are able to separate the 2 words that form these compound nouns into 2 words also that make sense, then you understood everything Miss Luango said in this video.